Now, I would like to switch gears and go over a few things to watch out for early in the season, right after termination. The first one is related to soil temperature and moisture content. Cover crops often keep soil temperatures cooler, which is beneficial during the growing season, but that can be problematic early on. They can also slow down how quickly fields dry out compared to areas without cover crops. This is especially important for early planted crops like corn. That's why timing cover crop termination right is key to avoiding these issues. Weed suppression is another important factor. If cover crops produce enough biomass, you should be able to see these benefits right at the first year of cover cropping. Be sure to scout your fields and check the weed population. At our proving grounds farm, we have been able to cut down one herbicide application in some areas. More often than not, cover crops increase soil nutrient availability by cycling nutrients from deep in the soil profile and by fixing atmospheric nitrogen. However, depending on the species and how long they're allowed to grow, they can also temporarily reduce nutrient availability. This all comes down to the carbon to nitrogen ratio in the cover crop biomass. If the ratio is too high, like in mature grasses, nutrients can get tied up, making them less available to your cash crop early on. But legumes and younger cover crops break down faster, releasing nutrients more quickly. That's why it's important to manage termination timing based on your cover crop mix and your next crop's needs. One thing to keep in mind is that at Vayda, we collect biomass samples from your fields to determine the nutrient content and the carbon to nitrogen ratio. This allows us to give you a clearer picture of how your cover crops may affect nutrient availability in your fields. With this information, we can make more precise fertility recommendations to ensure that your cash crops get the nutrients it needs. At our proving grounds farm, we have seen positive results by applying starter fertilizer, especially on crops like corn. The last factor I want to highlight is pest pressure. After cover crops, pests can sometimes be a bigger issue, especially if you are planting green. This can be particularly problematic in the early stages of crop establishment. In the Mississippi Delta, pests like bean leaf beetles, stink bugs, and armworms can show up. Soybeans tend to handle insect damage better than corn, as they compensate more effectively. It's important to monitor pest activity closely and to catch any issues early and minimize the impact on your crop. Thank you very much for watching this video, and stay tuned for more videos on cover crop benefits and soil health.